again to the world of biology, Bioholic. Your educator Olivia is here with another part of endocrinology, that is the thyroid gland and thyroid hormones. Please subscribe our channel to clear your concept about different fields of biology. So let's start. Thyroid gland is the largest endocrine gland of us. It is butterfly shaped, consisting of two connected asymmetrical lobes, the right lobe and the left lobe. The right lobe is usually larger and they both are joined together by a narrow isthmus. Each lobe is about 5 cm long, 3 cm wide, 2 cm thick, and the isthmus is about 1.25 cm in length. And the thyroid gland is located on either side of the trachea, just below the larynx. The weight of thyroid gland is approximately 20 to 30 gram, and it is generally larger in female than in male. Okay, so here you can see the right lobe, left lobe and isthmus present in the thyroid gland. Coming to the histology of thyroid gland. Histologically, each lobe of thyroid gland is divided into various lobules by fibrous tissue septa. Each lobule is made up of an aggregation of several follicles, and each follicle is lined by follicular cells. So in thyroid gland, follicular cells are present that vary in shape with the degree of glandular activity. They are cuboidal shaped. Colloid is present in the follicles. During activity, the cells become columnar, and when they are inactive, they are flat. From these follicular cells, thyroid hormones are secreted. So, thyroid hormones are secreted from where? The follicular cells of thyroid gland. Next is the parafollicular cell. They are scattered between follicular cells and basement membrane. They secrete calcitonin. And an important feature of thyroid histology is the presence of colloids. They are homogeneous material that fills the cavity of each follicles. When stimulated, the follicles are depleted of colloid, and when unstimulated or in inactivation, the follicles accumulate colloid. The major constituent of the colloid is thyroglobulin. This is a glycoprotein with a molecular weight of 660,000. This is the histological structure of thyroid gland. This is the thyroid follicle containing follicular cells. Thyroglobulin is present inside, and here is the parafollicular cells lying. This is the structure of a thyroid follicle when it is in active phase and it is during inactivation. From thyroid gland, 4 thyroid hormones are secreted. The first is the triiodothyronine or T3. Next is the tetraiodothyronine or T4 or thyroxine, and the next is the reverse triiodothyronine or RT3, and the last one is the calcitonin. So T4 constitutes about 90% of the total secretion, where the T3 is only 9% to 10%. The reverse triiodothyronine is biologically inactive and which forms less than 1% of thyroid output. The calcitonin is another hormone secreted by the parafollicular cells, and it is considered to be related with the calcium homeostasis. Next Friday, we will learn about calcitonin and its function in details. The degradation of thyroid hormones occurs in muscles, liver and kidney. Clear? Now let's learn about the T3 and T4. The T3 and T4 both hormones are iodine containing derivatives of amino acid tyrosine. The potency of T3 is 4 times more than the potency of T4. And similarly, the duration of T4 action is 4 times more than T3 action. Therefore, T3 acts on the target cells immediately and T4 acts slowly. Both the thyroid hormones have a very long half-life. The T4 has approximately a half-life of 7 days. Half-life of T3 is varying between 10 and 24 hours. The plasma level of total T3 is about 0.12 microgram per dl, and of T4 it is 8 microgram per dl. The thyroid hormone synthesis takes place in thyroglobulin present in follicular cavity. Iodine and tyrosine are essential for the formation of thyroid hormones. So the iodine is consumed through diet. It is converted into iodide later, and tyrosine is also consumed through diet. And later both are absorbed from the GI tract. The richest source of iodine is the sea fish, and it is also found in bread, milk and other vegetables. Iodine is also added to the table salt to prevent iodine deficiency. Daily average intake of iodine is approximately 500 microgram, and daily requirement of iodine is 100 to 200 microgram. The plasma iodide level is 0.15 to 0.3 microgram %, and thyroid gland contains 5 to 8 milligram of iodide, that is about 95% of total iodine content of our body. So thus the thyroid gland serves as a store of iodine. The TH synthesis or thyroid hormone synthesis includes mainly 6 stages. Those are thyroglobulin synthesis, then the iodide trapping, then oxidation of iodide, then iodination of tyrosine or organification, then coupling reaction, and lastly the storage of thyroid hormones. Here you can see the mechanism of thyroid hormone synthesis through the animation. At first, from the capillary, iodide and sodium both are transported through the sodium iodide symporter. This step is known as iodide trapping. From here, iodide enters the follicular lumen through Penn ring channel, and after that it is oxidized into iodine by the enzyme peroxidase. On the other hand, the thyroglobulin that is synthesized by the action of endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi bodies in follicular cells also enters the follicular lumen. Nextly, iodine combines with the tyrosine molecules present in thyroglobulin. This step is known as organification. Due to this combination, two types of compounds are formed: the monoiodotyrosine and diiodotyrosine. If one monoiodotyrosine combines with one diiodotyrosine, then by the coupling step it forms T3. And if two diiodotyrosine couples with each other, then it forms T4 or thyroxine. After formation of T3 and T4, they are stored in the form of vesicles and can remain there for a long period. That is about 4 months. Each thyroglobulin molecule contains 5 or 6 molecules of thyroxine. There is also an average of 1 triiodothyronine molecule for every 10 molecules of thyroxine. Thyroglobulin itself is not released into the bloodstream, and the hormones are firstly cleaved from thyroglobulin and then they are released into the blood. So the secretion of thyroid hormones include 2 steps: the endocytosis, proteolysis. In endocytosis, the follicular cells sends foot-like extensions called pseudopods, which close around the thyroglobulin hormone complex. This process is mediated by a thyroglobulin receptor, megalin. Pseudopods convert thyroglobulin hormone complex into small pinocytic vesicles. And the next step is the proteolysis. Lysosomes of the cell fuse with these vesicles. Digestive enzymes such as proteinase present in lysosomes digest the thyroglobulin, and hence the hormones are released. Now the hormones diffuse through base of the follicular cells and enter the capillaries ultimately. About 99% of thyroid hormones are transported by bound form. the thyroxine binding globulin or TBG, thyroxine binding prealbumin or TBPA, also called as transthyretin, and albumin help in their transportation. And only 1% of thyroid hormones are transported freely. Now, what are the functions of thyroid hormones? Thyroid hormones increases metabolism, and it also increases BMR, that is basal metabolic rate by calorigenic action. They increases protein synthesis, causes protein catabolism. They also increases glucose absorption, promotes gluconeogenesis, and increases breakdown of glycogen to glucose. They also mobilizes fat to free fatty acids and decreases fat storage and increases free fatty acid in blood. They decreases cholesterol, phospholipid, triglyceride levels in blood. And these hormones also increase heat production, that is known as thyroid hormone induced thermogenesis. And thyroid hormones are also important to increase growth of the body, specifically in growing children. It also develops brain and prevent mental retardation. Increase in thyroid hormone secretion decreases body weight by utilizing more fats and vice versa. It also stimulates erythropoiesis. They increases rate and force of expiration by increasing carbon dioxide production due to enhanced metabolism. And they also increase appetite and food intake, and thus increases secretion and movements of GI tract. Thyroid hormones are important to maintain normal sleep pattern. Hyposecretion may lead to insomnia. They are essential for normal reproductive function. Hyposecretion causes loss of libido and impotence in male, and amenorrhea or polymenorrhea in female. They are important to increase heart rate. They cause vasodilation. They increase blood pressure indirectly. The thyroid hormone is lipophilic in nature, thus it can directly enter the cytosol and bind to the receptor present in the nucleus. The cellular response occurs due to the alteration of gene expression. Thyroid hormone secretion is positively controlled by thyroid releasing hormone of hypothalamus and thyroid stimulating hormone from anterior pituitary, whereas excess iodine and stress inhibits thyroid hormone secretion, and the leptin hormone on the other hand helps in thyroid hormone secretion. And lastly, when T3 and T4 levels are high, it sends negative impulses to decrease TRH and TSH production. Graves' disease is a condition that is produced by the autoimmune antibodies called thyroid stimulating antibodies. These antibodies act like TSH by binding with membrane receptors of TSH and activating CAMP system. So the result is hypersecretion of thyroid hormones. So it is an autoimmune disease. The clinical features include exophthalmos or bulging of eyeballs, goiter, increased size of thyroid gland, loss of libido or impotence, enhanced metabolic activity, diarrhea, palpitation or increased heart rate. So you can remember the features as the mnemonic Eagle DP. And in case of hypothyroidism in adult, myxedema may occur. This may be caused by the diseases of thyroid gland, genetic disorder or iodine deficiency. In addition, it is also be caused by deficiency of thyroid stimulating hormone or thyrotropin releasing hormone. The clinical features are edema, reproductive abnormalities, decreased metabolism, husky voice, bradycardia, anemia, and bagginess under eyes. Use the mnemonic BAD-HARP to recall the clinical features of myxedema. And if hypothyroidism occurs in children due to the congenital absence of thyroid gland or genetic disorder or lack of iodine in the diet, then this condition is known as cretinism. Here we can see stunted growth with bloated body, sexual immaturity, croaking sound while crying, mental retardation, and enlarged tongue. Macy is a trick to remember the clinical features of cretinism. Now let's explain goiter. It is abnormal increase in the size of the thyroid gland. It occurs both in hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. Goiter in hyperthyroidism is known as toxic goiter. It is caused due to the increased secretion of thyroid hormones by the thyroid tumor. And in hypothyroidism, the goiter is known as non-toxic goiter. This occurs even without any increase in hormone secretion. Now, what is iodine deficiency goiter or endemic goiter? It occurs when the daily dietary intake of iodine falls below 10 microgram. It decreases the synthesis and secretion of thyroid hormone, leading to increased TSH levels and proliferation of thyroid gland tissue. It is mostly found in the geographic regions away from the sea coast where the water and soil are low in iodine content. Another term is very much important in relation to goiter, that is the goitrogens. The goitrogens are goitrogenic substances that interfere with the production of thyroid hormone and cause thyroid enlargement. For example, thiocyanate, nitrates, perchlorates, and drugs such as thiourea, thiuracil, thiocarbamide, etc. Certain plant foods such as cabbage, cauliflower, and turnip also acts as goitrogens. Lastly, the anti-thyroid drugs. Secretion of thyroid gland can be reduced by application of these anti-thyroid drugs. For example, thiocyanate that inhibits iodide trapping, thioureilins that inhibits iodide oxidation and coupling, and a high concentration of inorganic iodides that inhibit the release of thyroid hormones. So, some amazing facts about thyroid gland are that your thyroid and your liver have a tight partnership, as the liver is the major location where T4 is converted into the active T3. If your liver is taxed for any reason, it cannot do the job of converting these hormones. As a result, you will feel sick and tired even if you are taking T4 hormone replacement. And the gland can store a very large amount of hormone, so much that if the gland released all of its hormone into the bloodstream at once, it could kill you. This phenomena is known as thyrotoxicosis. Follow our Facebook page to get regular biofan facts. Now it's time for the self-assessment test. If you are facing any problem regarding today's class, write in comment, and you can also mail us. So thanks for watching, and if this video helps you to understand better, then please like and share with your friends. Stay safe. See you very soon.